Whilst this sounds so simple, the job of going from unknown to known is actually one of the most challenging. But the reality is that is your job. That is your role as you are going through this process of building your business. Whether it's raising capital, whether it's growing your business, whether it's becoming more known to your customers. This is effectively our job as founders. In this video, I'm going to be covering this as an area, what areas you need to focus on specifically when you're raising money. So the concept of unknown to known really become paramount to me because we were working with quite a few companies, and what happened was I found that when we were promoting companies, some of the easier ones for us to promote were companies that had already received media attention. Now, what that means is that when companies get visibility across, whether it be on different websites, whether they're winning awards, whether they've been seen in different places, what happens is the brain basically subconsciously acknowledges that company. So what would happen is investors would often see these companies featured in these different areas. So when we'd go and promote them, all of a sudden the interest that would come back would be more than what we were expecting. But then it started to become really obvious to me that actually this whole job of capital raising is really about going from unknown to known. And there's a couple different layers to this. Okay, so let's break down those different layers. Layer number one, board and management. One of the fastest ways for an investor to go from taking you from being unknown to known in capital raising is your board and management. Why? Because one of the first things they're going to look at when they hear about your company is, okay, who else is involved? Who else is willing to either put money or put their time, effort, and energy to get behind this business? And what is their background? Do they have experience in that area? It's actually one of the fastest ways for their brains to think, okay, I'm interested. In fact, just on a quick side note, if you think about the human brain, we are deletion creatures. We are trying to find the simplest path to connections that we possibly can at all times, right? So this is why I highlight in capital raising, board and management is step number one. Step number two, who are your high profile investors? Do you have any investors in your company that an investor would already know about? The reason that's important, because you want that, oh, they're involved. That's the reaction that you're going for. Because what that means is someone else has put their money on the line with you. Someone else has spent that time, done the due diligence, gone to the effort to actually make an investment into your company, right? There's an element of credibility that goes along with that. So remember, layer number one, board of management. Who else is involved in building this mission and vision of yours? Layer number two, investors. Who's put up money to actually go into your business? Layer number three, what metrics do you have that are relevant? So if you're a B2C type business, and there's some fantastic, Benjamin Chong from Right Click Capital does some fantastic work about what are some of the metrics that a SaaS business needs to have. For example, in your industry, there'll be relevant metrics for investors that you need to highlight, that you need to bring forward. You need to understand what those metrics are. Because what that means is if you can display or present those metrics to an investor, straight away they can understand whether they're interested or not. And that's all you're going for. The job of unknown to known is basically you just saying to an investor, this is why you should be interested in me. That's your job, right? So metrics is a key part of that. What metrics are relevant to your business? If you're a SaaS business, highly recommend just Google Benjamin Chong, Right Click Capital. He's got some fantastic articles that sort of really correlate what a SaaS founder should be looking to achieve and what sort of they should be go for. Another one is, I hope I'm saying the name, David Klock. I just can't remember his company name, but anyway, we'll post it in the actual video so you can follow up on that. Very, very powerful. Next one. If you are, so metrics is typically for SaaS, it's relevant, but customer growth, all that sort of stuff is useful. The next layer you should be highlighting, especially if you're a technical business, right? When I say it could be a life science business, could be advanced tech, deep tech, whatever the different name you want to give to it. Industry awards are powerful, right? The reason why industry awards are powerful is because it means the industry actually acknowledges what you're doing. It acknowledges your innovation, it acknowledges your product, and it acknowledges your business. Right? I highly recommend you leverage off potential awards. So if there's specific awards in your actual sector, make sure you apply for them. do your best to try and win them, because it becomes useful in actually selling your business when you come to the capital raising part, because it's another identifier that helps you sort of stand out in your area. Next one. If you're a B2B type business, we always recommend companies. One of the easiest ways to help convince an investor that you're worthwhile for their time and attention is who your customers are. If you have blue chip clients, it's one of the fastest ways for them to suddenly become interested in. For example, we've got clients where they've got councils, governments, blue chip listed companies as their actual clients. You need to communicate that to the world, right? Or you need to have their permission to communicate that, because what that says is that this company has gone through their procurement process and they found your product, your offering to be the top one that they've come across, right? That is such a valid indicator for a potential investor, and it makes a massive difference. Said, as the job of unknown to known, that is one of the best ways to do it. Now for us, when we've done surveys on this, I said it comes across, said one of the key areas that investors are looking at is really that sort of board and management area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through those top 5 again. So first one, board and management, as I just highlighted. Investors, who's already invested into your company, who's got their skin in the game with your business, right? Metrics. What metrics do you have that an investor will easily identify in your sector that they can relate to, that says to them, I'm interested? Next one, what industry awards have you won? This is really relative to sort of technical businesses. And then the last one is who are your customers that a potential investor could know and understand and realize that to get them as a customer, you've gone through a strong curation or procurement process and been adopted as part of that company. So once again, our job as founders, unknown to known. So there's the key areas that I'm talking about when you're having a conversation with an investor. At a general level, I highly recommend you do as much as you can on the media front. For you as a founder, your job is to become visible for yourself personally and also for your company. Do your best to contribute to, if it's industry-specific publications, do your best to contribute. As an innovative company, you've got the opportunity to have a bit of a voice. If you're dealing with sort of smaller media groups, once again, do your best to get awareness in those groups. The more time that a potential investor, even if you're not raising money right now, the more time they can see you before it comes time to making an investment decision, the easier it's going to be for you at that time, because they know about you. They obviously like what you're doing, which is why they're going to be expressing interest. And all those different contacts and all those different visibility points become trust factors. In fact, in their brain, they become signals as to why they should be potentially investors in your company. So unknown to known sounds so simple, but there's actually complex ways of actually looking at it and how you can engage that with your business. I hope you found the video useful. Once again, like it if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our channel and make sure you share with your networks.